Hello my dears, welcome back to another session of our biology class. So you know that we were dealing with our second chapter, that is microorganisms, friend and foe. And for time being we are discussing the useful part of the microorganisms, how they are useful to the mankind and several other things, right? So today we are going to deal with the next portion, that is the continuation of the useful microorganism. In the last class we discussed how the microorganisms are useful in making food and also how do they help in the commercial purpose, right? So today we will be dealing with the next topic, how microorganisms are helpful in the medical field, how they are useful in the medical field or their medicinal use. We are going to see the medicinal use. Many microorganisms are used as medicine, and typically the microorganisms which include in the group of bacteria and fungi are used for the medicinal purpose. Okay, have you heard about the word antibiotics? Okay, yes. So first of all, we are going to see the subtopic in the medical industry, how the microorganisms help. And in that, first of all, we can see production of antibiotics. Production of antibiotics. Have you heard the term antibiotics? Of course, we had heard it several times. When we go for a consultation to a doctor, if we are having fever or cough or something like that, we all of a sudden our doctor would prescribe antibiotics. What are antibiotics? How do they are produced? Are you interested to know about it? Okay. So I grab your attention to the world of antibiotics. Okay. So antibiotics, as a definition, we could say that the medicines prepared, it is there in your textbook, which is clearly given as bold letters. You have to write as such in your notebook. And the definition is as follows: the medicines produced by the organisms. Sorry, in your textbook it is produced by the organism. There is a change. Produced from the organisms such as bacteria and fungi, which kill the disease-causing organism, is known as antibiotics. Actually, antibiotics are produced from the microorganisms such as bacteria and fungi, and they are used against other microorganisms that causes diseases. Disease-causing microorganisms are known as pathogens. What are they known as? Pathogens. Pathogens are known as the disease-causing microorganism. So are you clear about antibiotics? So the antibiotics produced from the bacteria and fungi will act against the pathogens. What pathogens? The disease-causing microorganisms. Clear? So several antibiotics are there. Out of that, 4 is being given in your textbook. Write and study, as I always tell you. All these are new terms to you. Streptomycin, erythromycin, tetracycline, and the other one is quite familiar to you, that is penicillin. But one thing you have to keep in your mind is that penicillin is the medicine that is produced from the organism Penicillium notatum. Penicillium notatum is the microorganism from which the penicillin medicine is produced. Is that clear? So penicillin is the antibiotic. Penicillium notatum is the microorganism from which penicillin is produced. You will feel some bored because I am repeating it for 2 to 3 times only because these are all new terms to you. Otherwise you will get confused. That's why. Okay. So you can write and study all the examples: streptomycin, tetracycline, erythromycin and penicillin. And in the page number, you know who discovered penicillin? Yes, Sir Alexander Fleming in 1929 discovered this antibiotics. And you can read that. Do you know? You have to read from your textbook, page number 23. Okay, Sir Alexander Fleming's contribution. Is that okay? So, that is the third one. We were discussing the medicinal use, right? Medicinal use. One we discussed production of antibiotics. Okay, certain precautions have to be followed while we are having the antibiotics. All this you have to write as bulletin in your notebook. These are very important. First one, antibiotics should take only on the advice of the qualified doctor. Number 2, we should take the antibiotics and complete its period. Okay, a period will be there. Sometimes the doctor would be prescribing this antibiotics for 5 days or for 7 days and all. We have to somehow cover that duration. Unless we didn't cover that, our body will not get fully relieved from the disease or that disease causing organism. Another thing, we should not take antibiotics in wrong dose, or when we are not in need, we are not supposed to take antibiotics. Okay, when we are in that much need only, we have to take antibiotics. Again, fourth one, antibiotics take unnecessarily may kill the beneficial bacteria in our body also. Many beneficial bacteria are there in our body, isn't it? So all that will be killed by the unnecessary intake of this antibiotics. And the fifth one is, and when we are having cold or flu and all, we are not supposed to take antibiotics. Why? Antibiotics are, we told that they are produced from bacteria and fungi, right? But this cold and flu are produced, that is the disease caused by the attack of virus. So antibiotics are never efficient against the viral disease. That's why we are having this crisis due to this coronavirus. No effective drug is not found which act against this virus, since virus is very dangerous. Okay, so antibiotic can't work against viral disease. Pray for Almighty to have an efficient medicine for this coronavirus. Okay, I know you all are doing. Include all of us in your prayers and pray for the whole world to get rid of this suffering stage. Okay, so getting back to the next topic. First one we discussed. Then the next one is the production of vaccines. Now this is a common term right now. Vaccine, COVID vaccine, corona vaccine. Likewise, you might be familiarized by the term vaccine. Now what is the word meaning of vaccine? Microorganisms are also used in the production of vaccine. Now what you mean by vaccine actually? Vaccine are nothing but, vaccines are the disease causing organism itself. They are deliberately injected or orally given into the body, but not in the actual stage. That the dose will be weakened or dead organism will be given. I will switch on to Malayalam to have a clear idea about it. Okay, എന്താണ് vaccine? Vaccine എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാല് ആ രോഗാണുവിനെ തന്നെയാണ് നമ്മളുടെ ശരീരത്തിലേക്ക് അറിഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് ഇഞ്ചക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നതോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അറിഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് ഉള്ളിലേക്ക് ആക്കുന്നത്, അല്ലെ, വായിലൂടെയോ ഇഞ്ചക്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടോ. അപ്പോ ഇപ്പൊ നോക്കൂ, പോളിയോ വാക്സിൻ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും കിട്ടിയിട്ടുണ്ടാവും അല്ലെ. പോളിയോ വാക്സിൻ, പോളിയോ ഒരു വൈറൽ ഡിസീസസ് ആണ്, വൈറസ് ആണ് അതിന്റെ കോസറ്റീവ് ഓർഗാനിസം. അപ്പൊ നമുക്ക് എങ്ങനെയാണ് പോളിയോ വാക്സിൻ കിട്ടുന്നത്? ആ വൈറസിനെ തന്നെ ഒരു വീക്ക് സ്റ്റേജിലാക്കും. ഇത്ര ഡേഞ്ചറസ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള സ്റ്റേജ് ആവില്ല, അതിന് അസുഖമൊന്നും ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റൂല, മനസ്സിലായോ? അതിനെ അറ്റ്വനേറ്റഡ് സ്റ്റേജിലാക്കും, അതായത് അതിന്റെ ഡോസിനെ കുറക്കും, അതിന് വലിയ പവർ ഒന്നും ഉണ്ടാവില്ല. ക്ലിയർ ആയോ? അങ്ങനത്തെ വൈറസിനെ തന്നെയാണ് ഇപ്പൊ പോളിയോക്കുള്ള വാക്സിൻ കൊടുക്കുമ്പോൾ അങ്ങനത്തെ വൈറസിനെ തന്നെയാണ് നമുക്ക് ഇഞ്ചക്ഷനിലൂടെ തരുന്നത്. അങ്ങനെ വരുന്ന ഇഞ്ചക്ഷനിലൂടെ വാക്സിൻ തരും. ഓക്കെ, അങ്ങനെ തരുന്ന ഡെലിബറേറ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള വൈറസിനെ നമ്മൾ എന്ത് പറയും? ആന്റിജൻസ്. ആന്റിജൻസ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ വൈറസ് മാത്രല്ല, എല്ലാ ഫോറിൻ ബോഡി, whatever foreign body that is entering from outside into our body is known as antigen. Dust is an antigen. Dust നമ്മുടെ ഉള്ളിൽ കയറി നമ്മൾക്ക് തുമ്മലും അലർജിയൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടാവും. അപ്പം dust is an antigen. ക്ലിയർ ആയോ? ഇനി ഇത്രയും മനസ്സിലായല്ലോ. അപ്പൊ വാക്സിൻ എന്താണെന്നുള്ളത് മനസ്സിലായല്ലോ. വാക്സിൻ പറയുമ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് ഒരു ടേമും കൂടി പറയണം. ദാറ്റ് ടേം ഈസ് നോൺ ആസ് ഇമ്മ്യൂൺ റെസ്പോൺസ്. Immune response is nothing but it's the ability of one's body to resist against disease. Immunity is the ability of one's body to resist against disease. So when the vaccine is being given into our body, അങ്ങനെ പറയുന്നതിനാണ് നമ്മൾ വാക്സിനേഷൻ എന്ന് പറയാം. The process of giving vaccine to our body is known as vaccination. Is that clear? And the vaccine which is given into our body will produce immune response, isn't it? അസുഖം ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്ന ആന്റിജൻസ് ആണ് നമ്മളുടെ ശരീരത്തിലേക്ക് വാക്സിൻ രൂപേണ എത്തുന്നത്. So that will cause immune response in our body. എന്താണ് ഇമ്മ്യൂൺ റെസ്പോൺസ് എന്നാ? നമ്മുടെ ബോഡി നല്ല അടിപൊളിയായിട്ട് അതിനെ ഫൈറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ നിൽക്കും. അപ്പൊ ഈസി ആയിട്ട് ഈ വരുന്ന ആന്റിജൻസിനെ കൊല്ലാൻ പറ്റും നമ്മളുടെ ബോഡിക്ക്. എന്തുകൊണ്ടാ? ഇവർക്ക് വലിയ പവർ ഒന്നും ഉണ്ടാവില്ല, അവരെല്ലാം വീക്ക് ആക്കിയിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് വാക്സിനിൽ വീക്ക് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആൾക്കാരെ കൊടുക്കണം. നമ്മളുടെ ശരീരത്തിന് ആ പവർ ഉണ്ടാവും. അവരെ അടിച്ച് വെടിവെച്ചൊക്കെ കൊല്ലാനുള്ള, വെടിവെച്ചല്ല, നമ്മളുടെ ബോഡിക്ക് നമ്മളുടേതായിട്ടുള്ളൊരു ഇമ്മ്യൂൺ എബിലിറ്റി ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ് ഞാൻ അങ്ങനെ പറഞ്ഞു. ഓക്കെ, അവരെ എതിർത്ത് ഫൈറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന എന്താ പറയാ ഇമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി നമ്മളുടെ ബോഡിയിൽ ഉണ്ടാകും. ഓക്കെ, സോ ഈസിലി ആന്റിജൻസ് വിൽ ബി killed. So when the antigens are entering into our body will produce antibody. When the antigen enter into our body will produce antibody against the entered antigen to fight against the entered antigen. ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മളുടെ പട്ടാളക്കാരെന്താ നമ്മൾ പറയാ? ആന്റിബോഡി എന്നാ പറയാ. നമ്മളുടെ ശരീരത്തിലുള്ള പട്ടാളക്കാരെന്താ പറയാ? ആന്റിബോഡി. ക്ലിയർ ആയോ? അപ്പോ എപ്പോ ആന്റിജൻ നമ്മുടെ ശരീരത്തിൽ വന്നോ അപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ ഇമ്മ്യൂൺ റെസ്പോൺസ് ഉണ്ടാവും. ഇമ്മ്യൂൺ റെസ്പോൺസ് ആന്റിബോഡി ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യും. ആ ആന്റിബോഡി ആന്റിജൻസിനെ തുരത്തി ഓടിക്കും. Is it clear? Okay. So for this example, several diseases including polio, tetanus, tuberculosis, smallpox, several examples are can be prevented by vaccination. And the table 2.1, you go after this video, after this class, and go and read that table. It is an immunization schedule table. Whatever immunization booster are being taken at different ages. You know that when we are having a small kid at home, for several times we would take that baby to have vaccination. Polio vaccination will be there, DPT vaccination will be there. Then several other vaccination will be there. Booster doses will be there. Tetanus vaccine will be there. BCGs will be there. So that is your one assignment. Go and read it. You have to write it in your notebook also. Table 2.1. Okay, table 2.1. So immunization schedule is nothing but they are the different types of immunity or vaccination that is given at different stages. So that's all about the microorganism which helps in the medical field. Okay. So next is fourth. How microorganism help in increasing soil fertility. Yes. In order to know this soil fertility, how microorganism help us? Yes, typical example is the rhizobium bacteria. Rhizobium bacteria. So the rhizobium bacteria are seen in the root nodules of leguminous plant, and their main function is they fixes the atmospheric nitrogen and convert into nitrates which can be easily absorbed by the plants. All that things we had studied detailed in the last chapter and you know that, right? So now how this rhizobium bacteria helps in increasing soil fertility? Yes, after harvesting, after the completion of harvesting this leguminous plants, the roots will be there present in the soil, right? So that roots will be having the root nodules which contain this rhizobium bacteria. So when that root decay and decomposes, it will get mixed with the soil. So that decomposed root will contain this rhizobium bacteria. So it can mix it with the soil, thus increases the soil fertility. Another example, another bacteria, one more, some bacteria and blue-green algae. Blue-green algae also help in the fixation of atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates. So they are known as biological nitrogen fixers. Biological nitrogen fixers. All these things you have to write it in your notebook. Okay. So that's all about the contribution of the microorganism in increasing the soil fertility. And the next one we are going to see is how the microorganisms help in the cleaning the environment. I am writing environment like this way as shorthand. Don't write or don't go for this shorthands. Okay, you have to write it full spelling itself. Okay, so the microorganism, you know that they act upon the dead and they decompose the dead organisms. Otherwise, our earth will be having a pile of dead organisms if the microorganisms are not present and they are not engaged in the decomposition. They not only clean the environment by decomposition and all, they would increase the soil fertility also. Is that clear? Okay, some bacteria decompose sewage and other wastes of water also. Okay, and this is a natural method to keep the environment clean. Okay, and last but not least, some other activities that help that is helped by the microorganisms include bacteria are useful in the production of jute and leather. One thing, and microorganisms are helpful in the production of biogas. What do you mean by biogas? How are they produced? Biogas are produced from the waste product or the excretory products or the garbage of plant wastes and all. The waste products of animals, excreta of animals from cow dung and all, we used it to produce this biogas. So many bacteria help in generating biogas. And also some bacteria live in the digestive tract of the ruminants. Who are ruminants? Cow, goat and all. We have studied in our last year, I think. Isn't it? Okay. So that bacteria present in the gut or in the digestive system of such ruminants will help in the digestion of what? Cellulose. Clear? So cellulose is a hard material, right? So it is being digested only in the ruminants, herbivores. So these are the useful microorganism and their various departments where they are used for the production and for their usefulness. And we discussed 6, right, in the food industry, in commercial use, in the medical world, and in the cleaning of environment, then increasing the soil fertility, and last some bacteria as a miscellaneous function, right? So you have to write it point wise. Meanwhile, go through the table to point 1. Okay, do write it the spellings of streptomycin, tetracycline and all without any errors. Make sure that you are not committing any errors, and you have to study it without any spelling mistake too. That's why I am insisting you to write and study. Along with that, you have to read the Do You Know by the contribution of Alexander Fleming, and also contribution of Edward Jenner in vaccination. I will ask questions regarding these Do You Know in our next class. So for time being, I am winding up our class. So if you are having any kind of doubt, you can contact me. Okay, take care. Tata.